Service. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, that summit that you're attending is also about the environment and those sorts of issues. So tell me what role air traffic control can play in reducing emissions.
Well, air traffic plays a very important role in managing aviation emissions. Certainly in the UK, we've been doing a lot of work to measure our carbon footprint, and to date we've calculated that annually aircraft flying through UK airspace emit about 26 million tonnes of CO2. So we've been working very closely with the airlines and with the airports and with the regulators to make the improvements necessary across the network to really try and reduce the CO2 footprint.
And how are you going to do that? For example, there's been criticism about planes and the time it takes planes to circle airports while they're waiting to land. I mean, if you could reduce the time that they take to do that, that could make a significant difference, couldn't it?
Yes, well, it's quite a complex challenge from a network perspective, but we've been doing a lot of work to improve the flight profiles of the aircraft, to make sure that the horizontal tracks are minimised, that we reduce the holding, which of course involves working very closely with the airports to maximise the capacity at the airports, and quite a lot of work now starting to kick off around airspace redesign to make sure that the routes into the congested airspace provide as efficient arrival routes and departure routes as possible. So there's a lot that we can do. Within the UK, we've got a target to reduce CO2 emissions in UK airspace by 10% by 2020. We're on track to do that. And from a customer perspective, it's worth remembering that a 1% reduction in CO2 emissions equates to about 40 million euros of cost savings for our customers.
Well, Mr. Deakin,
there's a win-win there.
I also wanted to ask you about the Icelandic volcanic cloud, which obviously caused an unprecedented level of disruption for both passengers and airlines. To what extent did it highlight the need for better air traffic management?
Well, the air traffic management, of course, was quite a challenge during that period. From the perspective of NATS in the UK, obviously we provide the service and the rules are very much set by our regulator and the International Civil Aviation Organisation. So since the volcanic eruption, we've been doing a lot of work across the community in Europe and with the regulators to try and improve the procedures that we'd use if a similar situation occurred again. And I think it's fair to say that everyone in the community has made a lot of progress since then.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard Deakin, CEO of the UK's National Air Traffic Service. Appreciate your time.